intersection of making art and making money. Hello and welcome to episode 132 of Explore Your Enthusiasm with me, Tara Swigert. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. We are going to talk about how to take a break in your business, or what to do when you need to take a break in your business. This has come up so much, both for me in the last year and for so many of my students. And we are talking about things like needing to take a break from your business because of your kids being sick, because you need to go through chemotherapy, because you have a death in the family, because your loved one falls ill and you want to spend time by their bedside, because you need a outpatient or even inpatient surgery in order to stay well, or you get on more meds and they make you fuzzy. These things come up for everyone. It is part of being a human being. You are a human in a human body, and you love people in human bodies, and those fail us at times, and they take time and effort to keep healthy. And that means that as a human running a business, you are going to need to care for yourself or a loved one. And often that means taking a break or scaling down what you're doing in your business. So like I said, I have encountered so much of this in the last year. So many people taking breaks from their business, or needing to take breaks, or wondering how to step away from their business for a short period of time without killing it. And yet I feel like nobody's talking about this because it's not fun. It is so much more fun to think about hashtags on Instagram than it is to think about your parents having a stroke, or your kids getting sick, or getting a diagnosis for someone that you love or yourself that's hard to deal with. That is not fun. And I think, frankly, a lot of people don't know what to do in that situation, because everybody's situation is so unique and so different. And it's much more fun to talk about building a six-figure business or rocking Instagram or growing your followers than it is to say, hey, life is hard and sometimes flat out bad and unpleasant, and bad things happen. But what we want is a business that's sustainable through that. So I am not concerned with helping you build the biggest business ever in your industry. I'm concerned with helping you build a business that's sustainable through life's vicissitudes, through life's problems and ups and downs and hard times. I want to help you be able to make what you love and sell it no matter what life throws at you, and for you to have a sustainable enough business that it can keep running as you grow older, as your parents grow older, as your kids grow up and need different things from you. In other words, I'm interested in helping you build a career as a maker or an artist, and not just make a splash and be super popular or super famous. So with that in mind, we're going to talk about what to do when this happens, when you need to take a break from your business. And the main thing I want to focus on is how to think about this. First step is to acknowledge you as a human will probably need to take a break from your business. So as for the actual how to make a plan to take a break, that involves you looking at all of the details of both what your business is, how you spend your time, the money you need your business to make to keep it running or keep it sustainable, and what other resources you have. Now, this will be different for every person, and that's why Stacy Trock of Fresh Stitches and I got together and put together a guidebook that walks you through the process of figuring out your specific plan. So in a podcast episode, I cannot tell you specifically what you'll do. So we put it all together in a guidebook. You can find that at taraswigert.com/leave. But what we can talk about on the podcast is how to look at it and why you need to be thinking about making a business that is sustainable enough to let you take a leave from your business. So I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to give you some ideas that will get you started on this path. And then if you really need to make a plan to take leave, you can check out that guidebook. It's at taraswigert.com/leave. Now, the real problem I see around taking a break in all of the businesses that I talk to who need to take breaks is people are looking at this with a short-term view. And when I say people, I mean my listeners, my students, my readers. And so we are going to do some truth-telling and hard talk today because I've gotten an email so often in the past year, I feel like we need to address it. And the email is this: thank you so much for your class or your community or your podcasts, but I'm about to take a break from my business because XYZ thing happened. Big, serious life thing. So I'm going to not be working on it for a while. Now, that is totally understandable. And if you sent me that email, I want you to know, as you know from how I replied to you, I have all the love in the world for you, and I hope your situation resolves itself and that you get to create the kind of life you want to create for yourself. But here's the thing. When you look at your business and life things coming up at you, it is so easy to take the short-term view, and you need, if you want to keep having a business year after year, and you want a career, you need to take the long view. And here's the difference. The short-term view is, this thing came up, I need to deal with it, I'm going to step away from everything to do with my business. I'm going to put my business on hold. And I totally get that. When something sideswipes you and knocks you out, you go into short-term problem-solving mode. And that means you basically turn off everything in your life that doesn't matter. So it makes sense for you to stop doing your extracurricular activities. Maybe you quit your book club, or you stop teaching Sunday school, or maybe you somebody in your family has lost a job, or your financial situation has changed, and so you cut back on expenses like stash enhancement, or the kit clubs, the monthly kit clubs you're a member of, or you stop eating out. But, this is a big but, if you are serious about your business, if you want to create a career out of your art or your making, it is not an expense and it's not an extracurricular. It's a part of your income. And this career building is actually a part of your mental health. Now, if you had a problem come up, in 90% of the cases, you're not going to quit your job, right? If you have a job that is your job and your career and you love it, when someone gets sick, or when you get sick, or when you need surgery, you're unlikely to quit your job. So if you are serious about making your business, your job, or your career, you're not going to quit it when something sideswipes you. Because, and this is so important, even if your business isn't like replacing a full-time salary yet, it is, for most of you, the thing that brings you joy or peace or a sense of self-reliance. It is a thing that matters deeply towards you and deeply to you, and it's the dream you're working towards. It probably challenges you and pushes you, but if you want to have a future in this career, you need to take the long view of it. The short view is slashing it like it's an expense or an extracurricular. The long view says things are hard and I'm going to cut the extra stuff, but I'm going to double down on the important stuff. If I have to take a break from my business, I'm going to be sure that my business will still be here for me when I come back. You're going to take the time and the energy to keep your business alive so it's there for you in the future. And now this is an important distinction. I'm not saying you'll never take time away from your business or time off. That would be crazy. In fact, I think everyone needs to take time off. If you have surgery, or you become ill, or you need to spend a week by somebody's bedside, you do it. You take time off. I'm not saying just don't take time off. I'm saying prepare your business so that you can take time off. So it's not something you just cut and run from, but so you know it'll still be there for you when you come back for it. If your business is important, you make a plan for the things that will definitely happen in your life. You have an in case of emergency plan. If you are of childbearing age and you're thinking of having kids, you have what I have, which is an in case of maternity plan. So that when you do drop everything, when you need to drop everything, what's important for your health or your relationships or your life for you to drop everything, you have a plan for how you can drop everything and still have a business that is going to survive it. And when you don't need to completely drop everything, you don't drop your business. You don't cut it like it's an extracurricular. Now, you'll notice that I said at the beginning of this a very important if. If your business is important to you, if you want a career out of it, if this is something you're building long-term, sustainable, this is part of your life plan, if all of that, then you make a plan for how to keep it lasting through your life and through everything that life throws at you. Because you need to expect that things are going to come at you, and you need to build your business to be able to sustain that, to last through it. So if you want your business to be a long-term part of your life, your income, your creative output, then you're going to make a plan for it. But that if is a big if, and it's not true for everyone. Okay, for some people, their business is just an expense and they do it for fun. For some people, their business is their hobby. For some people, this is just something that they do on the side for a little bit of fun and a little bit of money, but it's not anywhere near what they see their career being. And that is fine. That is totally fine. But I'm not talking to those people. When I talk about making sure your business is sustainable, I'm talking to the people who really need and want their business to be sustainable. And when I create any kind of podcast episode or any kind of product or guidebook or class, when I do anything for my business, the question is always, who am I making this for? And if you guys have listened to my past marketing episodes, you know I tell you to do the same thing. When you make a product or a piece of marketing, like an Instagram post or a podcast episode, you should ask, who is this for? And if you've been listening for any amount of time, you know that the answer to that question for me, who is this for, is someone who's serious about building a long-term sustainable business from the thing that they love to do or make. The person who I am making these podcast episodes for is someone who's interested in doing the work to make their business profitable, and the person who cares to make it feel sustainable and in integrity with who they are. Person who cares more about having a sustainable business that they can feel good about than they do about being famous or popular or having big numbers or like blowing up on the internet. So that person is going to come across things that lead them to need to take breaks in their business. But if that is not you, and that is not what you're doing, I want to take a minute and say that is okay. That is totally okay. Everyone does not need to turn their hobby into their business. Everyone doesn't need their business to make rent or pay their mortgage. Just because you want to sell your art or start an Etsy shop or put some patterns on Ravelry, it doesn't mean you automatically need to make it a long-term business. And I've actually talked to a couple students and friends who have decided this is a thing I do because it brings me joy, but I don't want it to replace my career. I actually like my career. That is totally fine. Right now, I feel like entrepreneurialism is it's everywhere. And we admire it. And there's a lot of glorification going on with people who are entrepreneurs and are starting things. It's like, I feel like our especially American society is telling us right now the best thing we can all do with our lives and to strive for is to make your own business and work for ourselves. But that's simply not true. It's just not a lifestyle or a risk level that works for a lot of people. That's simply just not what a lot of people are going for. And that is fine. You should not let the glorification of entrepreneurialism distract you from the kind of life you really want to have. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to have a life that does not have near as much risk or that requires near the kind of like work and personal work to make that happen. It's totally fine. I don't say that my classes or podcasts are people who are serious about their business. I don't say it's for them because those are the only kind of good people. I say it so that you know, so that you can self-select in or out. I say it because I need to focus on someone for my work, as we all do. You need to know who your right person is. And the person I most want to work with, because the person I'm most able to help, is that person who wants to build a sustainable, long-term career out of their art and their making. So If that is not you, that's totally okay. Don't beat yourself up over you needing to step away from your business and not keep your business running. Don't beat yourself up over your business not being the sustainable long-term thing. It is totally okay if it's not for you. That's actually one of the first things I walk students through when they join my programs, is figuring it out. What is the long-term vision? Some people come away from that realizing that their long-term vision isn't to build some kind of like 5 and 10 year business that's still running. It's just like, I want to make a bunch of these right now and sell them, or I designed this pattern and I want to list it. That's totally fine. But now I'm going to talk to just those of you who do want to create the long-term sustainable business. If this is you, I want to encourage you, take the long view of your life. Acknowledge that things are going to come up. People are going to get sick. You're going to get sick. Your body's going to break down. Your loved ones' bodies are going to break down. And you're going to want to be able to scale up and down your business to suit what's going on in your life. So decide. The first step is to decide that that you want to build a business that's going to be sustainable no matter what comes your way. Death, sickness, broken limbs, kids. Decide right now that that's the kind of business you want to build. If that's right for you, decide that that's true first. You have to do that before you can see your way forward. So how do you build a business that's sustainable through whatever life throws at you? How do you know that no matter what comes, your business will survive it? The answer is, the first step is to decide that you will figure it out. We've been talking about this in the past weeks with the Biz Confidence Challenge. Part of having confidence is to know you'll figure it out no matter what. And part of building a business that lasts and lasts is to decide that that's what you're doing. Decide that you're going to make it through. Decide that you're going to figure out things when things go wrong. If you don't decide that, then when things go wrong, it's that much easier for you to be like, never mind, and throw up your hands and walk away from it. And again, if that's not what you want, that's okay. But if you do want it, the first step is to commit to yourself that you will figure it out no matter what happens. And then get reasonable and responsible. So how do you make anything happen in your life? First, you commit to making it happen, then you figure out what it takes, and you make a plan to do what it takes. So in the case of needing to take a break from your business, or really in the case of having a business that is long-term sustainable and taking the long view, then you acknowledge, first of all, that things are going to come up. That you're going to need to scale up and scale down your business depending on your life. Maybe your kids go off to school and you have more hours to spend, so you scale up. Maybe your kids are homesick that week, so you scale down. Maybe you are traveling, so you scale down, or a new opportunity comes up, so you push aside some other things and you scale up and you spend more time on it. So in the case of needing to take a break from your business, whether it's planned or whether it's entirely unexpected, you needed to decide ahead of time, how will I take this break? If I need to take this break, how am I going to make it happen? And then you need to create a plan, and you need to identify the kind of chunks of your business that could be put on hold, and the chunks of your business that are the really vital lifeblood that you need to keep going, kind of no matter what happens. So when Stacy and I were talking about creating this guidebook, it came about because she took a kind of semi-maternity leave when she had her baby. She was the primary caregiver. Her partner has a job that takes up tons of time and involves a lot of travel and him being gone. And so she was the primary caregiver. She didn't have any help or any childcare, and yet she still ran her super successful business, Fresh Stitches. And kind of in the middle of that time, she wrote me and said that there's no information out there for people who are going through this. She's like, all of the information about having kids and having business is for people who have kids and then start their business. And it's like how to start your business while you have kids, What if you've already created a super successful business and then you need to scale back or take time off or something because having a new baby is kind of exhausting? So we talked through this, and the main questions we came to is that, because we were like, well, how do you do this? How do you work on this? So we wrote out a bunch of stuff together. We thought about what are the questions somebody needs to ask themselves, and we put together this guidebook, which, by the way, we soon realized that doesn't just apply to maternity leave. I had to take time off this summer to take care of myself and my health. I am going to be offline for 3 weeks coming up because I'll be in the UK. I have a student who had a inpatient surgery. She'd be in the hospital for several days and then she'd be recovering. That these questions don't just apply to maternity leave, but taking a leave applies to life and applies to things that come up in life. And we came to some core issues. One of them is figuring out what really is your business and what's the lifeblood of it and what's just the extra stuff you do. And then deciding how will you fit that in or how will you pass it off to someone else. And a lot of it is getting more strategic and streamlined in how you do your business day to day. So it involves systematizing and batching and automating. We put all of this together in a guidebook for people who need to take leave. You can find it at tarasweiger.com/leave. And it's called Take a Break Without Breaking Your Business, because it's very easy to take a break and just stop doing everything. Right? That's the short-term thinking of I'll just not do anything. It is more complex to think through, how will I take a break when I need to? How will I scale up or down? And in this guidebook, we look at it from every angle. How much money do you need your business to make? First of all, just to break even and cover its own expenses, because even if you step away from your business, you still have hosting fees, maybe Etsy fees or sales fees. You have any advertising you bought, you have anybody who's on your team. So how much money do you need to make to break even? And then how much does your family rely on your income? How much money do you need to make from your business? Many of us, our businesses are paying at least a portion of our bills. And then what actions, what tasks do you do that actually bring in that money? And then how long do those tasks really take? And then what can you scale up or scale down? What could you leave aside that wouldn't actually hurt your core business? And like I said, we've both done this ourselves. Stacy took the semi-leave during her pregnancy and for the first year of her baby's life. She was a primary caregiver. I've taken weeks off to teach around the country. Because of my sickness, I went to a grandparent's funeral totally unexpectedly, took a couple weeks off last December, and then the summer to take care of my own health. And I've also helped hundreds of my own students go through surgery, chemotherapy, sick kids, kid surgery, and the happiest reason of all, a new baby. Actually, 3 of my Starship members in the last year have gotten pregnant or had their baby. So this is fresh in my mind. How do you figure out how to step back from your business but keep your business going? So if you're listening to this the day it's published, then you're actually listening as I am flying across the Atlantic Ocean to spend 2 weeks in England and Scotland. When we get back, it's actually going to be the week of Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving. So I'm not even going to be back to work that week. I'm going to be mostly offline for 3 weeks. Now, it's not really that I'm taking time off work because I'm teaching every weekend that I'm in England, but I'll be mostly offline. For starters, the international plan for our phones is got us on no data, and then we're relying on hotel or Airbnb Wi-Fi wherever we're staying, so that's sketchy. So I need to set my business up as if I'm not going to get online for 3 weeks. And it's tricky because I run an entirely online business. So I actually went through these workbooks that we include in the Take a Break guidebook to figure out how I'm going to keep my business running. And in the guidebook, I share the exact script I'm going to use for my email autoresponder because, and this is interesting, I have decided not to come back to an inbox full of things I have to respond to, but instead I'm declaring full email amnesty. You'll see if you take the class, my script, what it tells people to do if they're emailing me when I'm gone. But the gist of it is I'm not replying to emails when I get back. Anybody who's emailed when I'm gone, my email tells them what they should do. and then they will be responsible for taking care of that, and I'll just delete their message. Now, if you are writing to just say you really like the podcast, I always love that. But it tells you like the better thing to do so that I see it and other people see it is to share the review on iTunes. Or I give a bunch of different options in this email that I'm sending out so that I don't come back with an inbox stuffed full of emails. And we have all kinds of tips and tricks like that both she and I have done to really cut back on our inbox. I have a couple tools I use that keeps all those newsletters I subscribe to in Old Navy emails out of my inbox. So my inbox each day is pretty tiny anyhow, and I always clear them all out. So I'm not too worried about taking time away. And we talk about how you can hire people for different areas of your business or your life. And if you think that's impossible, we talk a little bit about how to figure out if it's possible for you. We'll also walk you all through streamlining so that you actually can spend less time on your business even if you don't have a good reason to, because that's the thing. So many of us have our days filled up with things that aren't effective at building our business. You could cut those out now and start spending less time in your business, or if you don't need a break or you don't need to scale down, you could cut out the ineffective things and spend more of your time doing more effective things. It's going to help grow your business. So all that to say, if you have decided you want to create a sustainable long-term business, you need to create a plan for what happens when life happens. You can use our guidebook to help you through that, or you can decide you're going to do this on your own and you're going to figure out your own answers. That is fine. What I most want for you though, those of you who want this to be your long-term career, is I want you to be able to get through no matter what life throws at you. Ideally, everyone will always be healthy. You'll live a long and healthy life and you'll never lose anyone. You'll never need to take time off for sickness. But in reality, we know that's not how life works. We know that things happen. I just want your business to be prepared when those things happen so it is still there for you. So if you need to take time off for a new baby, or you need to be in the hospital for surgery, or you need to take weeks off to be with a dying family member, that you can do that without losing this thing you love so much, because our businesses mean so much to us and can give us so much joy and so much fulfillment, but obviously they don't take the place of real relationships in our lives. And I think a lot of people who email me and maybe who listen to this podcast think it's an either or. Either I'm going to invest in relationships and be there for my family, or I'm going to be entrepreneurial and do my own thing. I propose, and I am certainly working all the time to figure out how to do both. How to have a happy marriage, be a good daughter, visit my family who lives across the country, and have the business I want, and have adventures, and travel around the world, teaching people and meeting listeners and students, and helping everybody build more sustainable long-term careers out of the thing that they just love doing. It's my hope we can do both, but you can only do both if you plan for the reality of the situation. So that is what I want you to think about this week. I want you to think about what are the breaks you might need in your business. And by the way, we've only talked about when life throws crap at you, but also there are good times to take off your business, like my traveling. Yes, it's for work. Yes, I'm going to be offline, but it's good. It's an exciting reason. It's the best reason so far. Other reasons might be that you just need a break. You just need a break. You need to have some fun. You need to stop working so hard. No matter what your reason is for needing to take a leave, I want you to make a plan so that you can make it happen. I've had a couple of people, when I announce this class, especially on Instagram, leave me comments like, I just wish I could take time off my business, but there's no way I can. And I feel like any time I'm not spending working on my business is wasted time. Well, friends, that is not a sign of a sustainable business. That's a sign you're working too hard and maybe not on the best tasks that'll help you grow your business. So instead, let's build something sustainable so that you can stop work at the end of the workday, not work on the weekends if that's what you want, and take a break from time to time. To learn how Stacy and I think that through and do that, you can check out the guidebook at taraswiger.com/leave. You can also find links and the transcript to this podcast episode at tarasweiger.com/podcast132, because it's episode 132. And I would love to know about you and your own leave. Where have you gone? What kind of breaks have you taken? What amazing things have you done? You can share it on Instagram with the hashtag #ExploreYourEnthusiasm, and I will check it out and congratulate you. I'll also answer any questions if you want to post them there on your own Instagram, but with the hashtag #ExploreYourEnthusiasm. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a fabulous day. And since I am flying to the UK as you listen to this, the next few episodes will be some notes from on the road. I will be talking about the classes I taught, like what are the questions that came up, or I will be sharing fun places I went. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do, but I'm going to record from the road. Let's hope it works out, and that's what you'll hear next week. Thanks again for listening, and I wish you a week full of time off and time away and health and happiness for you and everyone you love. Thanks so much for watching. You can get weekly lessons like this in your inbox, along with access to worksheets and checklists and transcripts from all the podcast episodes when you sign up below. You can also subscribe on YouTube, and YouTube will notify you when there's a new video. And you can follow me on Twitter or Instagram. If you do, be sure to say hello or leave a comment below the video to let me know you're there. Thank you so much for watching, and have a very enthusiastic day.